We say what they can't radio.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Basketball Way. I know we took a little hiatus, but we're back. It's the best time of the year. March Madness is coming up, and in that kind of space, we chose to bring on Marva and Alex from Girls New York City Basketball to kind of cap off the how we can basically give children and kids advice on that transition from high school to college, because it's very important and it's something I don't think we really pay attention to. So without further ado, we introduce our guests, Alex and Marva. Let's clap it up a little bit for them. Let's get it.
Thank you.
Tell us a little about yourself before we really get into it.
Okay. Sorry about this. Good afternoon, everyone. First, I want to thank you for reaching out to me and allowing Alex and I to be here. This is really, really an awesome opportunity.
You're welcome.
My name is Marvin Dudley. I'm the founder of Girls NYC Basketball. Girls NYC Basketball was founded in January 2015. And the main reason why I founded the organization is because while taking my daughter to college exposure showcases, I realized that there weren't that many here within the 5 boroughs.
Very true.
And I would have to usually at times take her out of state. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to be frank, because I know here is no filter.
Nope, not at all.
I would get there and there were very few girls that looked like her.
100%.
And I had a problem with that. And there were times when those that were coordinating these showcases, once they, because the basketball world is small.
Very small.
So once they started seeing me more and more often, they're like, oh, well, you think you can get some girls, to come here also from the 5 boroughs? So I used to ask them, okay, you charge anywhere from $160 to $210 for the showcase. Then gas, tolls,
food.
They got to eat. How are they supposed to do that? And then all of a sudden I heard crickets. So I said, you know what, this has got to stop. There's too much talent here in the 5 boroughs. Why aren't these girls getting the same type of exposure like these other girls are in these other states? And the girls that would come to those other showcases that were out of state, that were from New York, they were from upstate. So I just felt as though
different lifestyle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the playing field for our girls here in the 5 boroughs was just so uneven and so unfair.
Very true.
That's when I decided to
so you took action into your own hands.
That was
I like that.
Because I remember when she used to go out of state, and so her name is Shelby. So she said one day she was in the gym, and they said, Shelby,
they would split us up into teams.
Stand up, Shelby, and her and like 2 or 3 other white girls stood up. So
Thanks.
That's when
Thanks.
That's when okay, what can you give us the last name now?
Exactly.
Because it's more than one Shelby. Then this black girl stand up and her name is Shelby. Yep. So that's really good because it's definitely needed. Because why should they have to travel and spend all this money every weekend or however? Because some of these things is every weekend.
It can be,
and I like the fact that you brought up expenses, because people don't really realize how expensive it can be to get yourself out there.
Yes.
Right. It's very expensive. You can I was fortunate enough to, when I was playing basketball in high school, I went to South Shore and we got a lot of exposure in that area. And then also I played for New Heights, where everything is basically kind of free.
Yeah.
And I got lucky enough to be in a situation like that, but I knew other people who their parents were paying a whole bunch of money for them to travel and get exposure. And where a lot of those things, in my personal opinion, as far as education and stuff like that, should be a given. I think that's just where we're at in the country, where it's like a lot of people are like, I don't get the same opportunity because of money, and that's crazy to even think about it. And it goes into so many different parts of the world. So tell me a little about yourself, Alex.
Well, my steps came about a little bit differently. I have a background. I was in the New York City public school system. I was a teacher. I coached boys basketball. So I saw it from a different perspective, because there were always opportunities for my boys.
Yeah.
And I did a lot to kind of help push them. I was at a school that was a popular basketball hub, so I tried to do it what I could. But one of the things that I tried to push was, there's still an opportunity. And I saw, from being in that situation as the boys basketball coach, I saw what was happening with girls basketball throughout the city, and there was not a lot of emphasis and focus. There wasn't a lot of attention paid to the girls.
Yeah.
There really wasn't. So I have daughters, and my daughter came up playing basketball. So how me and Marva connected was, I was looking for an opportunity for her. My daughter's path was a little different. She ended up going to Mary Lewis.
Oh, okay.
And from then she went to Francis Lewis.
Gotcha.
So she was at schools. Yeah.
Mary Lewis, Francis Lewis.
Oh, yeah, I played with a few people from Mary Lewis.
Yeah. So, you know, and then she played travel ball. She did some with myself under Game 7 out of Long Island. She did some with Positive Direction.
Okay.
So she played with a couple of different. So I reached out because I was trying to find opportunities because I knew going in there were none. There was very scarce opportunities for girls for exposure.
That's definitely dope. So let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's get into the questions that nobody wants to speak about. So my mother last night I came into her room. She said, you know, I was watching this interview or something like that, and they were talking about social media and what that
playing
means.
A big part.
College
coaches making a decision on your child.
On your kid.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And I saw that it was a few schools. One was SMU, Duke. I forget the other one. And they was pretty much just saying, well, okay, they saw something or read something. And it was like, okay, on to the next, because I guess what they saw was not what their school represented. So I don't know with your program. I just think that it's very important that these programs should implicate it. It's a situation where you teach them about their social media because jobs do it.
That's right.
It's very important. And people say it's invading their privacy. And honestly speaking, I think so a little bit. However, when my son and daughter went to college and they send the paper of who's going to be in their dorm, I went to their social media.
Right.
I wanted to see who. And my son was like, "Are you crazy?" No, I want to see who you want to be rooming with. I want to know who these people are.
So the question basically is like, well, I said to her, well, you got to understand that this is all numbers, and as bad as it sounds, like my name is not Shelby Powell. My name is $55,000.
Right.
This is a numbers game. I'm an investment. I'm not.
I hate how
Exactly.
that sounds,
but that's the truth. One of the things that we did early on in some of our showcases, we had someone who was for a radio station who was part of the social media department come in and speak to the girls about how important that was. And I think more so for girls because we see a lot negative images of girls when it comes to social media. And to be an athlete just in general, you never know what's going to come back. And as Shelby is mentioning, you're an investment.
Yep.
So any college that's looking at bringing an athlete in, they're saying, okay, we're going to give them X, Y, and Z, but we're looking long term. What are they going to give to us? Right. So when you see a lot of people that go on and play pro, those colleges are counting on that because you're bringing more people coming in because they want someone else to follow in your footsteps and aspire to be what you were.
What you are, right.
So that's so you're basically advertisement. So they're making money off of you.
Yep.
And they're looking for future investments also. So they want to know if there's someone we think is going to bring a positive to this school.
So the line that was drew for me, which I said was, I necessarily wasn't afraid of, and I know this sounds bad, I didn't think twice about what a school might see on my social media or what college coaches are. I was afraid of what my parents would see on my social media.
Right.
Now, I think that's where it's a misconception. It's like a lot of children don't even have that line. Don't even have that line to say, like, I don't want my mother to see me on social media. I'm grown. I don't want my mother to see me on social media with bottles of liquor and alcohol and stuff.
Right.
That's just not what I want her to see.
You 24 years old.
I played basketball with kids who don't have that line
right.
at all. They don't have, and like I told her last night, I said, if you don't know the common denominator between all these kids who had issues, they never really had a stable home.
Exactly.
But I played with girls for let's say 10 years and never seen their dads.
But the thing is, and I get that. And like I said, I understand the reason why they go to the social media. I get it. I understand it. But when do you say, let me give that kid a chance? Because maybe their environment is what's, a lot of times when a certain environment you're from, it dictates what you may do or what you see you may do or whatever. But if you come out of that environment, you might get a chance. So when do you say,
there's definitely a chance
let me just give this kid a chance. I might see some things that I don't particularly care for on his or her social media, but when do you say that? When do you give?
And
a
I
kid a chance?
think that has a lot to do with the person who's making that decision.
Yes.
And one of those issues is we don't have a lot of us in those positions.
I can even
so
understand
exactly, so
why
they don't understand
that makes sense.
where you come from.
So
So they won't say, "I need to give this kid a chance," because they're coming from a different world, and they're just like, oh, well, we was able to do this, we didn't do this, we didn't do the other. So they're expecting that that's the norm when that's not the reality.
Which is not.
Exactly.
100%.
That's their norm, but that's not our reality. So they won't say, maybe I should give a kid a chance because I see something in them that I saw coming up, I saw in somebody else.
That I can help and pull them out of that situation.
They didn't see that.
So that's why it's very important that these children, like even elementary, junior high, high school, they're educated on the things that they put on their media. It follows them through the rest of their lives.
Yes, absolutely. And like you were saying, as far as, giving, that individual a chance, that's another thing regarding our showcases. A lot of times what we have done in the past, and I want to continue doing, we reach out to the alternative high schools where the average age of the senior is about maybe anywhere from 19 to 21 years old. Because you think about it, a lot of those students, they're told, just hurry up and just get your diploma so you can get a job.
So you can go with your life.
Don't even think about nothing else.
Exactly. So we had a couple of girls that did come, and one ended up going to, did you go upstate where the coach got in trouble? Mohawk Valley. Yes.
Someone went there that we know. I forget who.
And, that was one. I mean, there were a couple, unfortunately, that decided to take another path. But the thing is, we at least had one.
Yeah.
And
you can give the opportunity.
Exactly. And that's what we
reached
did.
out. That's a big thing that you even considered.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
But you understand. Whereas other people are not going to reach out or even gamble with that type of situation because alternative schools, and you're thinking,
I know,
trouble, problems.
Right. I know.
Don't even waste your time.
Exactly. But that's what makes our program so unique.
That's good.
So that's another one to go into. What do you think is one of the most important pieces of advice that you can give to a kid transitioning from high school to college?
For me, it's always been the focus is on your education. You have to maintain while you're actually there. You may aspire to be a pro, but your education is what's going to get you there and what's also going to carry you through life. We've seen too many people that have gone pro and then they fall apart afterwards because they don't have a foundation of themselves, and they don't know how to, simply just budget money and, and make smart investments and, learn how to stay away from trouble and things of that nature. So it's like, focus on what you're really there to gain. If you want to go to college, what is your ultimate goal?
Exactly. And I agree with Alex that is the key, education. And also, too, what we tell these young ladies, because usually with a college exposure workshop, you have to, of course, you know this already, follow the NCAA guidelines, but you have to have an information workshop, information session, So a couple of times I've actually conducted a couple of them, and I just tell the girls straight out, and Alex is telling them too. Number one, everybody not going to D1. Everybody not playing for Gino. That's number one.
Be realistic.
Okay?
Be realistic. That's true.
Number two, do not frown on the Division III schools because Division III schools have the highest graduation rate out of all the other divisions. And another thing is less than 1% are going to go to the WNBA, and not as many are going overseas like they used to either because this selection is even more streamlined now, even as far as for overseas. So the thing is, focus on your education. That they can't take from you.
100%.
You have that degree, that is yours for life.
My thing is this, I say all the time, they're going to use you.
Use them.
You got to, because first injury you get, on to the next.
I would have to say, for me,
the next.
I remember I was 17. I was a senior in high school, and I had colleges interested in me and going through the whole academic thing, SAT, things like that. And me and my father, like always when I was younger, got into it over something. It was basketball-wise. And I had an attitude. He told me, if you want to act like that, leave my house. I got up to leave. Really gonna leave my house? He says, I sit back down. He said to me point blank out, you need to be realistic. You're 5'7", 5'8". You're not speedy, fast. You're a guard. You can play. You're smart, but you have to be realistic about where you're gonna go with basketball. Mm-hmm. It was harsh in the moment. It hurt my feelings, but it was a conversation that.
I couldn't have had that with you.
Yeah.
So that's where the father.
It was something that needed to be said because it put me in a reality check. Like, he didn't. It was hard, but he didn't lie.
Right.
And I had to be. And then from there, it was easier for me to accept that. Academic wise, for mistakes I made early on in high school, I wasn't going to be able to do the things I wanted to, and I just had to accept it and move on and focus on the next chapter of basketball. And if anybody ever played JUCO, like it's like a dog fight.
Oh, my daughter played JUCO.
It's a dog
in the beginning.
fight.
Yes, absolutely.
What school did she attend?
She started at Queensboro Community College, and now she's at SUNY Old Westbury.
Yeah, it's a dog fight.
She went to Monroe and Rochester.
It's a dog fight, and you literally like you're out there. They recruit. Let's say when I started, it's 20 girls, and he says in a month and a half, it's only going to be 12. These are people you hang around with every day. You eat, play ball, run, and you gotta literally be going at them every day to earn your spot. So that conversation for me really like narrated, especially my first year, like my mindset, because it was like, okay, this is not gonna be like a Shelby walk around.
Yeah, you was
like
like high school. See,
Right.
see,
Not
that's
like
what
high school.
happens.
Yeah, I
When
gotta
you're
actually
recruiting out of junior high school, going into high school. A lot of times, if you don't have to try out, like with her, she didn't have to try out for high school. So now you got this big head, like
it was the first time, and me playing basketball, I had to fight for something.
Yeah,
like it was like, yo, if you're gonna sit here, you're gonna get cut, or you're not going to be in a position to be able to like have somebody pay for your education. You better get it together, or
better get it together.
It was rough, but it narrated how I felt and the attitude I went into in college, because it was like, yo, look around.
You know what's so
luckily,
I never knew you had this conversation with your dad.
I couldn't tell you early on. You probably didn't matter.
I probably would have been, but I would have understood. I couldn't have that conversation.
Luckily for me, like I said, since I coached and I had my daughter around me, I had her around the game a lot. So she had these guys who were older, you know, she saw firsthand what I was trying to impart to them. And for her, when she was coming through high school and when it's talk for college, she knew what she wanted.
Right.
She had no desire to play Division I or II, because she realized, I want to get this education because I have a goal in mind. This is what I want to do. So when she was actually looking at colleges, she was looking at college and she was like, I want a small school just like my high school. That's what she wanted.
Right.
But she ended up at Queens College.
Let's get into
a Division II school.
Let's get into how important that is to pick a school that fits who you are.
Yes.
People don't really realize how important that is, man.
Yes,
That's very important.
So she mapped out exactly what she wanted. She knew what region she wanted to be in. She knew the size of school she wanted. And she said, I want to play basketball, but I have no aspirations to be a pro. I want to go to a school that has my major where I can also play, but I don't have to, you know.
That's not, they're not drilling that.
Exactly. Right. So it's not like I don't have to live, eat, and drink basketball all day, and I can focus on my school because this is what I want to do. So she's going to school for sports medicine.
Oh, okay.
So she's still going to stay connected to the game, but she knew what she wanted. So she ended up at Queens College, which was a Division II school, but that's not what she had aspired to.
Oh, okay.
So, it worked out for her.
That's very
but even
important.
like right now, she's like, I'm focusing on my schoolwork. So she has one more year to go, and she's,
That's very important, fitting a school that better fits you.
Yes,
Yeah.
I said
You don't get overwhelmed.
Right.
Exactly.
You're walking in this big university and then you're like, what in the world?
And then you get lost. So it's like you go there, you want to be a player. So like you said, you walked in and you had to actually work.
It's sort of like
so now you
went to UConn and realized like this ain't it.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly. Deladon. That's
UConn.
right. Because had she stayed there, she would have never got drafted.
Yeah, it'd have been
Right.
his style of game and what, in my personal opinion, didn't fit the strongest attributes of her.
Right.
And she would have walked out
With nothing.
with
Exactly.
a degree, but
Not
not
what she
where
wanted.
she wanted right now.
because she wanted to play on a professional level,
Yeah.
which meant so much. And like you were saying, as far as that perfect, that good fit. Now, my daughter started out at Queensboro. She wanted to start out at junior college level. She didn't want to go into the 4-year stream automatically as far as, playing basketball. I guess she wanted to, as they say, test the waters.
Get her feet wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And basically, she was like, Mom, this is different, because there are times when high school students will say, oh, community college is just 13th grade. That's usually the nickname.
Until you get there.
Right, exactly.
Until you get
Right.
Exactly, because the thing is, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, they're going to you're gonna have to leave from there
you won't
too.
make it to 14th grade.
Hey, right,
Right, exactly.
You'll be stuck in 13.
Exactly. So then, she stayed there for 2 years, and when we were looking around for where she was going to transfer to, we went to a few places. But one thing she always stated: number one, she wanted to stay within the tri-state area. And although I am her mother and I birthed her, she said she wanted to make sure she wasn't far from her grandfather. Was my dad.
Oh, okay.
She's like, I cannot be that far from grandpa. So the furthest she said she would go was Jersey. But
Gotcha.
she while at Queensboro, they played Westbury. And I could, as a mother,
You can tell.
Yeah, and I saw the body language. But I didn't say anything. And then they played them again her sophomore year. Then I could really tell. Then the coach is talking to her and everything. And I have to say, because that's one thing I made sure of. I did not say, you must go here or you cannot go there, because whatever the outcome was, it was going to be on her, because that was the decision that she made.
Yeah,
those kids, man, they'll blame you to the death.
Exactly.
You be on your deathbed. I'm not talking about you. Didn't make your arm. But no, I'm not talking about you. Not you. You made the decision. But I'm just saying, you be on your deathbed and they be like, well, Mom,
because of
do you remember? I am dying. I'm not forgiving me. Yeah. It's me on my head. This is it. They about to unplug me. But I get it. But let her make her own decisions and decide.
Exactly. And she's happy. She loves it there. Good. And I love it there. I love it there for her. It's really nice. So it's a big campus per se, but it's over 600 acres, but they're not on the whole 600 acres.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So but where the actual campus is, it is a good fit for her. And what I like, one thing and I will say this to parents, if you ever go on a college visit with your children, look to see if anybody's walking by themselves, because it's good when you see them walking with someone. So this way you know that everybody kind of knows everyone. But if you go to a campus where you see a lot of students just walking just by themselves, you start to wonder, wait a minute, is everybody there just a number? And I noticed with Westbury, there was...
when you have children...
What children? What are those? No, but
it's important. It's important. Like you said.
Let's see. But on a real, like a public service announcement, as far as like for college sports, like, understand, man, JUCO ain't no joke, man.
No, you get to the right.
No joke, man.
You get to the right, and again, it's about the right fit, because you'll have people who will play for a coach, and it will change their lives.
Yeah, definitely.
And a particular coach can change a young person's life negatively or positively.
Yeah. That's very important. A coach, especially if you spend a lot of time with your team.
Right.
Coach.
That's right.
You guys are like a family, and these people around you have a lot of influence on the things you do, who you're with, and you start to honestly, like, playing basketball has taught me more about probably anything than I've ever learned anywhere. I've learned so much about family dynamics. I learned so much about communicating and dealing with people that's necessarily not like you. Even though y'all with each other every day. I had teammates who were nothing like me. Literally, the only thing we had in common
was the basketball.
Was this jersey we both wore.
Right.
We had different family lives. We had different home lives. They out to 12. I better be here by 9. Like, it was different.
Everything is different.
It was different. Where you going home?
Right.
She's gonna be looking for me, and it's not gonna be pretty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's very important.
Crowd, right outside in the front. Like, where are you? But...
So let's speak about the influence of parents in this whole college exposure and transition, because I don't think I hear a lot of talk on social media and media about schools and colleges, and I never hear people say, like, where's your mama and daddy? And all of this. Yeah. Like, it's very important.
Yes, it is.
A lot of kids are walking this walk by themselves.
Yes, they are. And it's unfortunate, but Alex and I have both seen it. And with our showcases, there have been times,
yeah, brother,
that we have seen these young ladies come by themselves. There was one time when Alex and I were talking, and we were saying that, well, maybe we need to make it like a requirement that, an adult should come with them. Yeah. I know when we would have our showcases at what was considered a beacon program, if the participant was under the age of 18, they had to have either a parent or guardian with them, because they had to fill out paperwork. But other than that, a lot of times the girls would be coming along showcase, yes, by themselves. There were times I was taking my daughter to these showcases, and these girls had their backpack on their back, came there by themselves, left by themselves. And I can understand that you may not be able to make everything.
Right.
Yeah.
I get that.
You have a work, you're a single mom, some things,
Right.
but at least something.
Like I said,
Exactly.
if I played with you for 3 years and I ain't never seen your mother and father,
Yeah.
that's a problem.
Yeah, it should be.
That's a problem.
Mhm.
Right.
It should be.
I saw it, and again, being that I worked in a public school, and I used to notice even from then, the parent involvement was so minimal.
Oh my
Parent
God.
teacher
Mhm.
night, there's 5
teacher night.
parents there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was,
And
I
2 of them are a
agree.
couple. So it's like there's only like 3 families represented.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So if they're not involved in what's going on in school, when it came to this, I see so
cares
many.
about sport?
Then right, so
Definitely
they're
don't
not.
care about
They don't
that.
care about sports, and then a lot of times they're saying, "Well, you're a girl, you play basketball. It's not that serious." So they're not really into it, and they don't get the same type of support. Now it's different when I see boys. Their parents already planning out. When they turn 7, they're like, okay, so he's gonna go to Duke. He's gonna play for the Boston Celtics. He's gonna do this. He's gonna do that. So they're planning it from early on, and they're doing everything because they're looking at it like this. My son
A meal ticket.
is gonna be my meal ticket.
Mhm.
He's gonna get us out. Yeah, you carry his bag, Shelby.
Yeah,
you carry his
yeah,
bag
yeah.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
because he's
your
gonna get
brother's
us a
gonna
big
do this.
house.
He's gonna do that
That's
or
hard
whatever.
on the
But you
kids.
see,
It
but-
is.
I saw a lot of as a matter of fact, and this is why I love LeBron, because he's great. But he did a documentary with, what is this basketball player? It was on
He
YouTube.
got injured
Yeah, he got injured.
yeah,
I forget his name, but
I know
it's
you're talking
a school out in Jersey. And it was so sad to hear these parents tell these young black boys, listen, one boy got in trouble. She's like, listen, you gotta get it together because you gotta get us out this building.
Exactly.
You don't put that pressure.
I know.
Right.
I tell my
Yeah.
kids all the time, your education and what you do in life is going to benefit you. Only thing I want is before I leave this earth, I want to know that y'all can take care
Care
of
of
yourself.
yourselves. Yes.
You
Yes.
can't put that pressure because these kids is like, oh, I got to do it because I got to take care of my mom. I got to take care of my grandmother. I got to take care of my sisters, my brothers.
And your decisions
It's hard.
Your decisions don't always benefit you.
Right.
Right.
It's about your family.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So it's different. So a lot of these girls, they have to make the decision. They're walking this walk by themselves, and they don't have any support. And that's why we've seen a lot of them walk away from it because they just like, I can't do this by myself. It's too much.
Yeah.
It's the things that I would like to happen are not happening because I don't have the support. I'm not getting any exposure. I can't make it to the Bronx to get to the showcase because I don't have
Yeah,
money
I
or
don't
I
have-
got to do
That
Right.
something
reminds
up
me
or
of just
whatever.
like the classic scene in Love and Basketball, right after she got slapped in the kitchen. She said, I probably played in 1,000 games. I remember you at 1. Do you
Right.
know what type, like that's real, man.
And see, you know what? A lot of times
That's
parents
crazy.
don't understand how it affects children. Because when my son earliest elementary school, and I was there, I wanted to be around the basketball team so bad that I decided to be the girls' cheerleading coach.
Okay.
I mean, be honest, I didn't give a damn about the
She wanted to
cheerleaders.
be involved in everything.
I just wanted to be involved in this
I
basketball
was
thing.
17 going on a basketball trip. They needed a parent.
Oh,
to
I was there.
supervise.
I went.
Supervise.
I sure did. But I was there from elementary school, and my son played for his elementary school, and he played for Jackie Robinson, which is no longer, which is a misfortune, because they did a lot of messed up things with that program. And he practiced 6 days a week. After work, I would go to that school. I was in that school 6 days a week. His dad and I and the coach bought his team sneakers. We got them socks. I used to brush these kids' hair. I would grease them because I also taught them that when you go into another school, you are representing your parents, you're representing your school. You have to look the
Even
part.
if they ain't
Right.
there.
So I
Right.
made sure we took care of them, and none of the parents would come. We would go on trips, and my son, dad, and I used to have to buy food.
Mhm.
We used to
Yeah.
have to carpool these children,
Oh, yeah.
and he used to be like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Look, we have to do it."
It's a reality.
And
Right.
it's really,
Yes,
and these
it
parents
is
were
real.
home.
Yeah.
You see them, you go pick the kid up. They're like, "Hurry up!"
They
And
coming
then
out the house in their PJs.
no money,
yeah.
Right.
not even
yeah.
$2 for a beverage. So we used to buy juices, and it was
Yes.
just, but we enjoyed it.
Right.
But it was sad.
Welcome
was
to
a
our
realization
world. We
for
did the
me.
same thing. Yes. Absolutely.
When my daughter was at Francis Lewis for her senior year, and they do a they do a tournament.
Yeah.
Francis Lewis hosts a tournament around
Uh-huh.
December, and they wanted parents to come down and help. So I came down to help, and literally some of them they was like, "We've never seen a father here before."
Wow.
I'm saying, what? I'm like, and now Francis Lewis, who has over years has had, great teams.
They sure
Yeah,
do.
yeah. They've had very good teams.
We've never seen a father here before. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, so as much basketball has been going on in this program in particular.
Imagine programs that aren't as popular.
Exactly. So you don't see the fathers, and you're probably not seeing mothers. So
and like you said, if it was a boy, if he was in Lincoln or one of those big schools,
for the front and center.
Yeah.
Carrying him into the. I don't even want him to walk.
Right.
Can I carry him and sit him down? So it's just.
Yeah, it's totally different. So a lot of them they're alone in this, and after a while, it takes a toll on them.
It does.
So before we really get you guys out of here, because they were very nice enough to come, even though they probably had something to do after this. We want to just ask that last question. What do you think? What is your goal as far as your mission? Like, what are you doing?
Our mission really is to, again, get these young ladies the exposure that they deserve. Your demographics, your financial situation, that should really not be such a strong factor. I mean, and also too, as far as your overall situation, like I said, we tap into the alternative high school. So we want these young ladies, again, as we said, you use me, I use you. And we say to these young ladies, listen, if you can get into school and use your passion for the sport of basketball to get you into that school.
That's right.
And especially if you can even further to help pay for school, do it.
That's right.
But still stay focused. Don't think that you're going to be on TV getting drafted for the WNBA because it's a very, very slim chance that it's going to happen. Yeah. However, you get that degree, that's yours.
Can't take it from you. You can go anywhere you want.
Exactly.
Do whatever it is you want. That's right.
So that's really our goal, to make sure these young ladies just, if they want to go to college, we can help them. And our thing is too, which I'm going to go into in a few minutes, not only just get them into school, make sure they stay in school. And I'm going to talk about that after Alex says what he has to say.
It's the same thing. Just like you said, you learn so much from being a part of the game. My whole thing is I hope that they can gain the opportunity, because a lot of them figure, well, I want to use basketball, any sport. If it can help you get into a school and get the education or get you to a position for further in life, we just want to help facilitate that.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just want to help facilitate that. And then again, there's more to learn from being part of a team.
Yeah.
There's a lot to learn. So it's like you get your education, but it helps build you as a person. Yep. And that's important. And we want to just help facilitate that. There's a lot of talent that goes unseen, because a lot of people just figure, the school that you go to, you're a girl, so you got strikes against you.
Are you guys familiar with Amwar?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
Yeah. His answer seemed kind of
like.
Oh, yeah.
Do you like him?
Yeah, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with anybody.
Okay. I mean, because I
don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with anyone. And again, especially when I see anybody that's coaching a girls' team in particular, especially in the inner city.
Yes.
They're providing something that other people don't want to get.
Because she went there, and his passion. Now he can be over the top sometimes. Like, he used to get under my skin, but the passion that he had for these girls, and the way that he said to me, listen, she come here because her father was like, I don't know if she's gonna go there. Right, and he begged because she had Banneker and other schools to go to, and he was like, no, Evelyn. I'm like, come on, he's good. Put her in there. I think that was a good decision that we made. Mm-hmm. He's on top of them. A lot of his kids do go on to college. He's right. He gives up so much.
I was in school with went to college. Now, what happened afterward?
Right. It's up to them. And the thing is, and that's what I was saying, when I saw being in a high school and being around high school basketball, I saw coaches, they literally did not care. It was, I make money by coaching. Mm-hmm. So I just need girls to come and play, join the team, so that I can get this extra check. Yep. Mm-hmm. That was it. But when any coach that's actually putting in the time, putting in some work to try to help develop,
it's a big thing.
It makes a big difference. It makes a big difference. Makes a big difference.
So I just want to say before, as far as not just getting, helping these young ladies get into school, but make sure they stay in school. unfortunately, I have been talking to Alex about this for quite some time. Then I saw it firsthand with some young ladies that I knew personally. Once they got into school, they had to leave due to financial situations. And I had said to Alex, we all know there's billions, not millions, billions of scholarship funds out there that are not tapped into. Money on the table. However, unfortunately, there are some families that just don't know where to start.
Right.
So Girls NYC Basketball, we started a program called Scholarship Saturday, which we have a Saturday once a month. Our next one is March 9th. And basically what we do, we go over everything. We talk about the FAFSA. We talk about the different types of student loans. We talk about financial aid in general. We talk about scholarships. We talk about how even the little things as far as your email address. Like we were talking about social media a few minutes ago. And we say to the participants, that come there, don't use the, hotmamasexy@gmail.com. Don't do that. Have it be as professional as possible. But we also say too, set up that one email address just for that. For people, schools and scholarships.
Right, information.
And the thing is too, we stress, first of all, it's not only just for girls, it's for boys also. And we want the parents to come because there are some parents out there, they don't have a clue and they are so
let me tell you
fearful.
something. I didn't have a clue. I learned on the fly about all of that stuff, and I'm telling you, it was overwhelming at first because it just feel like it's so much coming at you. So I gotta say, I was clueless. Like what did you get? You got to make 101 passwords, and you have to have this high security. It was just a mess.
Well, I was blessed that during the time when I was in college, I'm dating myself now, a few years ago, but my father, who also attended college, him and I would sit at the kitchen table with the pen and paper. So just to date myself, but having that type of, I call that financial aid boot camp, as far as the pen and paper with the financial aid form. Now for it to be online, it was just so much easier.
Yeah.
But that's just it. We just let the parents know it's okay. We can walk you through.
We can help you.
Exactly.
We can guide you. Yeah.
So, if anyone's interested, again, we would love for them to come out. It's March 9th. They have to go on our website, girlsnycbasketball.org, because we are in a work share space at the Queens College Tech Incubator. So our space is limited.
Okay, so they have to register.
They must register online, and again, it's open to girls, boys, their parents, and we also have a session for college students. Gotcha. Because once you get into college, there are scholarships for you that you can also apply for, and there's also scholarships you can apply for graduate school. It's not that many, but they're out there, and we try to let them know about that as well.
Okay.
Well, we definitely want to thank you guys for coming out, and
thank you.
We appreciate you. It was a good conversation.
Thank you.
March Madness,
Just
the
make
best
sure
time
you
of
call.
the year.
You said you ref, right? You referee?
Yes.
Call the games right.
I tried to.
We want to thank you guys.
Don't kick parents out because I almost got kicked out a couple of times.
Oh, last question. Is James Harden step back and travel?
Sometimes it definitely is.
Definitely. Okay, I have one more question about this. Do you see that? I mean, I think they should change this rule where the actual offensive player who actually he's the person who's created the contact. Do you think they should change that rule?
At what level? Because you have to understand
NBA level.
Because at the NBA level, it's entertainment. We had a conversation off mic earlier that one of the things about officiating is you're supposed to administer the game but not be a part of it. When you watch an NBA game, you know all their names. You see their faces. You recognize they are a part of the game.
Right.
They're a major part of the game. They implement themselves into the game, and that's not how it should be. So a lot of it is entertainment. The NBA wanted the games to be high scoring and flashy and things of that nature. So a lot of the calls that happen and a lot of stuff that doesn't happen.
I hate when a player creates contact.
There's really no
blankly creates contact.
There's no excuse for a lot of stuff that happens, and then they say, "Oh, I didn't see it." Well, that's the reason why they went to 3 referees years ago, so that you are in position to see it. But there are things that happen that there was a play where Russell Westbrook walked almost a half court holding the ball. And when he started to dribble, that's when he called it travel. It's like he walked 20 feet before you. So what are you really looking at? What are you really looking at?
Exactly.
There's no excuse for that. There's no excuse for that. And it's entertainment. It's really entertainment. So the referees have made themselves a part of the game. And a lot of what they do.
That's true, because you be knowing facts about referees. They talk about how many years they've been reffing, first, last name. He has a daughter in college.
Well, I just think that they need to call the game right, especially when LeBron is being aggressive, going to the whole.
That's what stopped this.
They're not. This
LeBron train, the L train.
Hey, listen, I'm on that train with you. I'm on that train. Y'all can take it together because
this L train got to stop
somewhere.
Call
the game right.
Call it. When it's pertaining to LeBron.
And it depends on who they're playing. It depends on who the new star is. It depends on years ago.
And that's personal.
Right.
It shouldn't be personal.
Yeah, years ago when LeBron was younger and he went up, Blake Griffin came into the league and he was the new thing, they would call that. Yeah. But it really depends on the person, it depends on the new flavor, and it depends on who's refereeing the game.
That Michael Jordan and this ref, right? He said, the ref said, Michael Jordan said, that wasn't foul. Blah, blah, blah. He go, you think so, Mike? He said, yeah. He said, okay, foul. And then I said, whoa, what?
Yeah,
he said, Mike, you think so? I'm going to say
to
it
know.
because you said it is, Mike.
Right, it'd be interesting to know when that person grew up, who was his favorite team? Where is he from?
Right.
Is he from the New England area? Michael Jordan's not getting that call.
Oh, absolutely
That's right.
not.
Not.
So, and we see even now in the college level.
Like refs from like Mars.
Well, what there really has to be, in my opinion, there really has to be, and the NBA say they want to be transparent, but they pick and choose when they want to be transparent. So
what's convenient for them?
There once in a while you'll see that they'll come back and say, "Oh yeah, this is what should have happened. It should have happened." But there's games going on. There's 10 games on average going on every night, and you hear something from the NBA once every 2 months. There were bad calls in all of those games. Yeah. We're not hearing from you.
That's right.
And they got this new high-tech thing and all this crap and all these things that they can do now. Like, they need to...
And sometimes you'll be watching the game and you'll hear the commentator say, the referee went to the monitor and he still got it wrong.
Yeah.
And then you start to see, you don't start hearing from some of those commentators no more because they don't want them on it. So it's like, so it's like the NBA can't have that. You can't put a blemish on this. And they keep saying we have the best refs in the league, and we don't.
No,
because James Harden got fined $25,000. But see, you know what? I was really pissed off with him because, dude, stop it. Because you get 101 calls. You went to LA, you didn't get no calls. You're mad. I don't care.
Right. So I mean, and it works that way. And some of them they get, as a player, you show passion, you develop a reputation, and it's like no matter what you do, if you walk down the court and you trip, they'll call a tackle on you because you're trying to show up the ref. It's like, well, I fell. What are you talking about? It's like, or you trying to show me up? You trying to tell me that you got slammed to the floor or something like that? Whatever. Matter of fact, now you're out of here. It's like,
they was kicking people out left and right last year. I was like, wow.
A lot of people didn't like Durant's move to Golden State. Right. He's starting getting teched up until he got to Golden State. He wasn't catching techs like that when he was at OKC.
He was catching a lot of techs.
He got tossed out so many games in his first year at Golden State. It's like, what's going on here? Because I don't like the fact that you came here. Yep. So you say something to me, out of here. Yeah, but you didn't hear anything about the referee. You didn't hear too much about the referee that head-butted Sean Livingston.
Oh, I remember that.
Right, that's right.
This is a referee.
I remember that, right? Yeah, I remember that.
A referee headbutt a
player.
Come
on now.
Yeah. And that's okay.
He should have got stuff.
If he would have had the right player, he probably would have got punched in the face.
Yeah, but then what's going to happen to that player?
Now
the player, next thing you know, he's out the league, he's fined and all this stuff, suspended and all of that.
50 games.
Fined against the team and all of that,
And then the ref is going to ref another game somewhere.
He's going on his plane the next morning and he's going on someplace else to go make some more bad calls.
Yeah,
exactly.
On purpose.
Well, we definitely want to thank you guys for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's get you guys out of here.
All right.
Thank you.
What's going on, y'all? We right back at it
with
the Green Room. We did our college segment first half. We're going to be right back at it with the Green Room. Right now, right here, this NBA segment is about
LeBron James.
No. It's a Lakers intervention. Matter of fact, we're gonna do it like old school. We're gonna do a Lakers intervention, then we're gonna do a Celtics intervention.
Okay, but first I would just like to say, let's talk about asshole of the week first.
Oh yeah, who's the asshole?
Everybody who said LeBron James is not the best player in the world because he had a major injury and da 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 da. So everybody.
Okay.
Who said that? They're assholes. Moving on.
My a-hole of the week is Tristan Thompson. Shout out to you, bro. Get him. Anyway.
He's a fool.
So, Mr. Will, what do you think is going on with the Lakers?
Watch yourself.
I think
he's a Lakers fan.
No, but he might blame it on LeBron now.
No, actually, I won't.
Oh, I love you.
But I will say this about him: as much as I know he's going to go down as one of the greatest players ever played the game.
Thank you.
What you saying?
To the LA Lakers, and this is my team that I'm talking about. When you can go 5 or 6 years without winning, not because of the culture of what the Lakers stand for, but because of the players that were drafted by Jim Buss. And I'm not saying that he drafted bad players, but they didn't come from winning organizations. They didn't come from winning programs except one except one person, and that was Brandon Ingram.
Okay.
Came from Duke.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he did. He sure
Kyle
did.
Kuzma played at Utah for 4 years, which is a plus for them. But I will say
he was a steal in the draft. I think
he was a major steal for the Lakers. But he's since the whole thing about Anthony Davis came about and the trade rumors and what happened and didn't happen, he started to play like a little female. And I'll say that too about Kyle Kuzma.
He did
because I had him as I actually voted on the All-Star ballot for him to be an All-Star because he had All-Star caliber first half. He did. He really did. He really did. And then when it came to them understanding what the business of basketball is, they fell under that type of pressure.
But how do you think a player's supposed to adjust to that?
You making millions, you adjust.
No,
listen, I feel like this. You're in the NBA. A team has bought the rights to have you as one of their players in their organization. They bought them. Regardless of how you look at them.
Modern day slavery.
Right. Why would you want to come to the NBA if you know that this is a part of the business? This is a business at the end of the day. It's a business. but but come on, let's be real.
They bought your boy.
Let's be real. That's why you have agents that do what they do as far as negotiating.
Rich Paul, the best agent in the world.
Absolutely. And he does what he's supposed to do because he looks out for the best fit for his player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And guaranteed contracts, opt-outs. I think opt-out has become the biggest curse to the NBA that it's ever seen. You know what I'm saying? And let me get back to the LeBron thing real quick. I don't want to go off track.
King James.
LeBron is the biggest gift to the Lakers, and he's become the biggest curse to the Lakers.
Break it down.
He has, because not only is he pointing fingers because they're not winning.
I don't like that.
He's pointing fingers. And for him to be, quote unquote, the best player in the world, he cannot point fingers because he's the leader.
Kobe did it.
Kobe did it.
Yeah.
Kobe
cried. Kobe said he wanted to get
Kobe
traded.
made demand. Wait, but there's a difference. There's a difference. Number one,
Kobe and
he had a coach. Kobe Bryant had a coach that could reel him in when he started doing that too. Who does LeBron James have as his coach? Luke Walton. First of all, he don't respect Luke Walton.
He doesn't.
He don't. Number one, they the same age. Number two, he played in the same era as LeBron when he first came in the league.
That's true.
Luke Walton is a great coach. He's a good coach. He's not a great coach. He's a good coach. He's a champion though. And they should respect that because he played with Kobe Bryant. He played. Championship pedigree means a lot in the NBA.
Absolutely don't.
It does.
Don't.
Because if that's the case, why do people want to go play with LeBron James?
Do you realize a lot of people don't really want to play with him?
I don't see that.
I do.
Listen,
why?
Lance Stevenson is one of the worst players I've ever seen. I love him though, but he's a dog, and he wants to play with LeBron.
He just got let go from the Pacers.
See, you want to stay on this LeBron thing like he's the greatest because of the simple fact that his aura makes him great. No, first of all, he can't shoot. I love him. Yes, he can shoot.
And he's 34, been in the league 15 years. If he ain't shooting, he's not going to shoot to your liking at all. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not happening.
I'm going to say this. See, you asked me a question. You brought me here to tell you how I felt. This is the intervention that I'm going to give you. Woo! LeBron James has to take the team behind closed doors without no media, without no coaches.
He did that.
Nope. I ain't seen it yet. It ain't come out. It didn't come out in the tabloids yet.
It did, but go ahead. I'll send the information to you.
Rondo, the veterans of the team,
right?
The veterans Rondo and LeBron, especially, they need to take the team behind closed doors, players only meeting, air out whatever differences you have. You have 19 games left in the season. Let's go 17-3 and make the playoffs, and then scare somebody.
What's
If they can't do,
making the playoffs though?
Come on, look, every team. Look, the Lakers don't make the playoffs. It's the biggest failure for them this year.
No.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Yes, it is, because they were projected to make the playoffs.
No.
You bugging.
Well, listen, this is what I'm saying personally. LeBron cannot miss the playoffs in the middle of his career.
You see, exactly.
He's going to miss the playoffs.
He can't.
I don't think.
Forget about the
Listen,
Lakers.
this man signed a 4-year contract, no opt-out.
3 years.
4 years, no opt.
Okay.
No opt. You don't want to tell me 4 years, no opt.
Okay.
He plans to end his career right there.
He do.
LeBron James better get multiple championships before he leaves. Now, if he can go within 4 years and get 2 out of 4, he's considered the greatest player of all time.
This is what I will say about
What makes you the greatest player of all times, though?
He's won. Yes, he's number one. He's taken teams to a championship, and he has won. He took Miami. He went back to Cleveland. Went 4 years. He went and won a championship.
That's never been done in Cleveland. That's never probably going to be done again.
Doesn't matter. He still did it.
Right.
If he goes to the Lakers, 16 championships, and he goes and he gets 1 or 2, Michael Jordan is blown out the water.
This is what I'm
I
saying.
don't care about the 6-0.
Listen,
I don't care about that.
This is what I'm saying about LeBron James. This is my issue with him. I feel like he is out of character.
Absolutely.
He's exhibiting things in the media and things he's out of character. That's not how you lead or how you play or how you lead a team. I've seen you lead different teams in different ways. Being vocal in the media is not one of them.
That's right.
If that's the case,
no.
You should have dogged out them old dogs at Cleveland last year because they should have been spoken about.
That's right.
Not this young team in the Lakers. This is not how he leads.
Including
this is not how he leads.
And for him to have that team in Cleveland, and I'm glad you said that, the Cleveland
Cavaliers
Cavaliers
team
team that him,
out. He's gonna talk about
and
somebody.
even with his old partner Dwayne Wade, there he was playing like trash too. And then when they blew it up, only thing I was in agreement with when LeBron did that whole blow up thing, because he made that blow up. He knew he wasn't going to win with that. Mm-hmm. And when he went there and they said, listen, we traded Dwayne here. He said, nah, send Dwayne to Miami and let his career the right way.
The truth of the matter is Dwayne Wade was asked, did he want to leave and where did he want to go? That's how that went. And Dwayne Wade said he wants to go. He was asked, did he want to go?
Did he have the power to make that happen? No.
He was.
If that's the case, he would have never ended up in Cleveland if he had that kind of power.
He was asked, where did he want to leave?
All right.
And he said,
yes,
he wanted to go. He wanted to end his career in Miami.
No matter what that Lakers team looks like, I am not talking about a whole bunch of 24 and 25-year-olds.
Right.
I am talking about that 34?
34.
That 34-year-old man who has exhibited himself in a certain light all these years in his career. He's out of character.
Right.
The same way he was out of character that first year in Miami when he lost to Dallas.
Right.
He's out of character.
Okay, but can I
this
just
is
say
not
this?
This is not his type of basketball.
I agree with that, but let me just say this, okay? And I agree. He is definitely not. I don't agree at all with. I don't agree with players calling out other players. I never agreed with that.
Why?
Because in the media, no.
No, I didn't say the media. I'm saying why you saying
media,
okay, then I agree with you there.
Closed doors, of course.
Okay. It's not that I don't agree
about
players calling out other players. I don't agree with LeBron doing it.
That's
my issue. Why? Because that's not how he leads. If you can lead, that's not. If you've been doing something a certain way for 15 years, and then all of a sudden something is going wrong because things have been going bad in his career multiple times. He's had incidents.
He never did that.
Never done that.
But y'all gotta understand, and I'm only going by this because when you start to when you grow and you get older, things change mentally for you. Things change physically for you.
I definitely agree with you on that.
He had a major injury that he's never ever had an injury to that magnitude that kept him out of the game he loved for so long.
It changed the complexity of their season.
They were number 4 when he left. When he left, they just kept going down. And
but see, this was and I agree with you there, Evelyn. But this is the same thing. They had a chance to pick themselves up in that situation. They had 35 wins last year, and was ninth in the conference last year. So for them to have arguably the greatest player in the world right now, now when they won that Christmas game, that should have catapulted them. They have youth on their side. They all of them, even with JaVale McGee is what 32.
Yeah, he's still
possibly. But Come on, they had youth on their side to play, and it wasn't like they were playing games that they were out of. Those games that they lost, they damn near had to leave.
Yeah.
Most of those games they lost.
This is my thing as well. With that is that this team, almost everybody was up on a chopping block for trade deadline.
That was an issue as well.
Listen, they're up on the chopping block for the trade deadline.
First of all, they on rookie contracts, so it doesn't matter. They can dump those salaries.
True.
They could care less.
That's true. And then we turn around. LeBron comes back after his injury, whatever it may have been. Things are not going well, and he's calling players out or calling the team out in the media.
Yeah,
that double entendre of don't get me wrong. Yes, it's a business, but we're talking about 24 and 25-year-old boys.
But they have to grow up.
They do have to grow up.
Magic said it too. Magic, like, listen, all these guys are professionals.
They should be.
You got to grow up.
Yeah. They do. Have
You know this is the business of basketball. You know you could be traded. You should know this the minute you get drafted, because you can get drafted. You can get traded on draft night.
They definitely have.
But
to
you
grow
know what
up.
though?
But we also never take into account. We watched all players grow. We are not. LeBron is not the person he was at 25.
But listen, this
That's a boy.
This is how I feel about the whole trade talk. I was very pissed off by that because first of all, I felt like they was giving up the whole everybody except for LeBron for AD, and I didn't agree with that trade at all, not even a tiny bit. I did not agree with giving up your young everybody for one person. I didn't agree with it. And I'm happy it didn't go through. However, we say that they're professionals and they should act a certain way, but we also got to remember these kids is young. And LeBron can't relate because he's never ever been on that chopping block in question of being thrown to the wayside.
But don't blame that on him.
No. Like you said, he's never. But everybody do though. You know, everybody in the media is saying, "Oh, that's LeBron's fault. Why they were on the chopping block? It was LeBron reason why."
As much as we don't want to say this, LeBron James has a say-so on who stays and who goes.
I agree with that. However, that's not his fault that they give him that leadway. But on the flip side, they need to grow up and they need to understand this is a business.
So
and
what
you
do
can
we
get
think
traded
that
while
needs
you
to
on
happen?
the plane.
That needs to happen going for. Okay, let's say we make the playoffs.
Right.
I think it's a waste of time.
Let's say what needs
No,
to
I
happen?
don't think it's a waste of time because let's be real.
I know it's
Lonzo Ball. Wait. Two
Man.
major components in this equation right here is making the Lakers what they are right now, and that is 10th in the conference. Number one, LeBron James is not 100%.
That's very true.
He's not 100%.
Let's be real. He's not 100%.
Number two,
people.
Lonzo Ball is hurt. Lonzo Ball averaged 13 points and 9 assists when they were balling, when they were fourth in the conference.
I hate to say that, but we need him.
He can't shoot, but you need him back because number one, he controls the tempo of the game.
When
they can go up and down, when they went up and down with Golden State on Christmas Day, I said they're gonna win this game. But the simple fact is that he controlled the tempo between Steph and Clay. They could not guard him. Now,
Steph can't
if the Lakers make the playoffs, I say they're gonna be either the 7th or the 8th seed. Now, your goal, if they muster up enough will to make the playoffs, they should have one goal in mind: is to not see Golden State in the first round.
Very true.
That's their major goal. If they want to make the playoffs, they have to jump over Sacramento. Mm-hmm. They need to be 7th or 6th, not to see Golden State. Now, I would say right now, my thing to LeBron is, listen, you grab these guys and corral around them and say, look, I'm sorry, but this is the way I'm used to winning. Now, if you're not willing to do that, and I'm going to be straight, if you're not willing to win, then let's can the season right now, and I can shut it down. Y'all have never been in this type of grind before, and I understand that, but it's time to be men. Let's be men in here. Grow up. Yeah. Y'all want to win? Y'all want to at least see some type of playoff atmosphere and see what it is to get it. They need that. They need that to push towards something that you've never been to. And I understand with that comment that he made in the media, I understand why he put it out there because it only emphasizes where he's been pretty much his entire career except for 2 years. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? He's been in the heat of battles for the last 13, 14 years. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And why does he have to turn down for them? No. I'm not going to turn down for y'all. I'm turning up for y'all. This is what you want. You want this? Look at this jewelry. You want this jewelry I got on? This is what it's going to take. It's going to take me to be in this is why I love Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett and Kobe Bryant. They say sometimes you have to be an a-hole in order to get what you want out of the players that you have. And if you're not willing to be the bad guy sometimes, they're not going to step up.
I think that's kind of hard for LeBron.
I don't think so.
I just think
he has to go about it a different way.
He has to do it in a way that
he has to be quiet and do it. He has to be quiet and do it because the year, like you said, when they lost to Dallas, he was a bad guy and everybody saw it. and they lost. That's not who he is. But if he take them behind closed doors and chew them out and say, listen, this is what I expect of you. And if you can't give me that, let's be real. Management gonna get rid of you. They're gonna Magic and them gonna get rid of you. Rob and them gonna get rid of you.
Y'all grown. We're gonna have a grown man conversation.
Like they got rid of Julius Randle, and I think that's another blow to them that they should have never got rid of. And he comes back to bite them every time they play.
I think it was
every time they play.
Get rid of D'Angelo Russell. I think
no.
Yeah.
They needed to get rid of that.
Why? Because he snitched on a dude?
They needed to get rid of that.
Listen, get rid of
He's
Nick
a headache.
Young. Nick Young don't even have a team right now.
And Nick Young got a ring last year.
He went to Golden State. You act like he's
care.
not a team.
All right, let's take a trip. Let's take a trip.
Yeah, let's go because D'Angelo Russell is killing right now on the Nets.
We're getting on a plane. We're go traveling to the East Coast.
And Nick Young is home.
We're traveling to the East Coast.
Calling himself Swaggy P.
Right.
What's going on to Celtics?
Kyrie Irving need to go.
Kyrie Irving.
He need to be out of there. He need to be out of there.
When I made my comments about Kyrie Irving about a month and a half ago,
Knicks need to get him while they got time.
I don't like Kyrie Irving.
I don't like Kyrie because the Uncle Drew thing took him to a whole different level.
I don't like him.
He's still a good basketball.
But he's a drama. But he's a drama queen. He's like a cryptic drama queen.
I don't like him.
Yes, very much so.
That number one draft pick syndrome, thinking that he's supposed to be this.
But
and a lot of number one draft picks are horrible.
So no.
He's a champion.
He is a champion.
And he's well respected.
Yeah.
Listen, he is a well respected champion. But he also is a spoiled child. Yes. I don't like Kyrie.
He's not a leader.
He's never fit in Boston.
No.
This is
He's never fit.
It's never about.
I don't think he fit either.
It's never about how you fit, in my personal opinion, or what's going on. Like as far as the team, bro, we know you want to leave.
Right.
We know you want to leave.
So just make it happen.
Make it happen. We don't have to hear an interview every other week about how you feel about the team.
Well, I respect him on. I respect him on one note because he did have an interview where he said, "Talk to me in July." And I can respect that.
That should have been the last.
That should have been the last interview he had.
And I appreciate
but
that
if they keep, but I feel
LeBron.
like this. If they keep coming at you, sooner or later you're gonna say, "Look, I've already addressed you."
Leave it alone.
But being that you want to keep coming, so I'm gonna say what I feel, and then you can take it any way you want.
That's just not professional, man.
But let's think about Kyrie's position. He was hurt last year. You really found out that they didn't need him, and they took LeBron and them with that weak team. Cavs had 7 games.
But that's what happens when you're a Robin.
But I agree.
Robin's running around. There's no team that's going to say
elite Robin.
No, I don't. I disagree. I disagree.
You disagree with what?
You think he's Superman?
I think if he
no. Oh, okay.
I'm gonna say this, and like I said, it's my opinion.
Okay, you're right.
He's Robin.
The Knicks need that guy.
No, I never said the Knicks don't need him.
I don't think Celtics need. Obviously, they proved that last year.
What I'm saying is this: is that guys like Kyrie Irving, in my personal opinion, very talented. I love his game. I love everything about his game. I wish sometime, like when he played on the Cavs, I always wanted to take a little of his blood and inject it in LeBron.
Right.
He has that thing.
Yeah.
But what he doesn't have is the thing about him is that, bro, you're a point guard who was put in a position to win and you succeeded. There are a lot of guys like that because you were just like anybody else getting busy doing nothing on a team before somebody else who mattered came.
But even with that, Shell, it's coaching too because you think about the Cavs didn't really have nothing when they were there.
Definitely,
when he was there, they really have nothing.
It's definitely coaching, but it's not like he's special when he's in a position to be special.
I agree.
There's certain guys like LeBron,
Durant,
those dudes like you could put them on Mars with a basketball, and they're gonna be special.
But you gotta, but if you're gonna blame somebody for the way Kyrie is now, you gotta blame Danny Ainge, and I'm saying that in a good factor because he drafts very well.
Yes,
he drafts very well. I think, but you know what? The whole thing with the whole Isaiah and him, dynamic when it went down, it was like. We get an all-star for all-star, but Danny Ainge is smart. I'm getting rid of a hurt all-star.
I'm about to say
for
Danny
a well
Ainge,
one. So he's smart.
Kyrie was nothing but a business move.
That's it. He was hurt. I'm dumping $80 million on the Cavs, and they're not going to keep him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They're going to dump that salary. And look now, Denver is the number 1 team in the league with him. With him. He just came back, right? But like I said, it's about being smart and being savvy from the business side of things, like with these whole trades and people getting emotional. It's business. Yeah, it's business. So. Isaiah was mad, but it's business. Look, you had a bad hip in the Eastern Conference Finals. Danny Ainge's not keeping that because there's no guarantee you're gonna come back 100% next year.
And it's not even that.
And I'm blowing it up, and I'm getting three picks for you.
If they didn't need Kyrie, you think they needed you?
Yeah, and then you get hurt. Gordon get hurt last year, and we almost make the finals. What you think gonna happen this year? One game away. If it wasn't for a couple of turnovers, they'd have been in the finals.
Let me tell you
what you think they're gonna do with him this year?
If Terry Rozier would have had a good game, because he didn't have a good game 7 at all.
No, he didn't.
If he would have had a good game,
but that's all. That's all.
But that all plays into experience.
100%.
Him being you.
Yeah, that all plays into experience because LeBron knew at one time of the game.
Jason Tatum right now.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
It's a sophomore slump.
And what did
and
he
no
say?
touches.
And what did he say? He said when they was talking about him leaving or trade or whatever.
Right.
He said, "I'll go to the Pelicans." You know why? Because he wants to be
the man. He want to be the man.
He
him and Jaylen Brown.
Play.
Him and Jaylen want to be the man.
He said, "I'll go." Like he don't care. He said, "I don't care where."
But I think we had this conversation before that trade even went down. I said it was not enough ball for them out in Boston.
There's only one basketball.
There's only one basketball.
So many pieces.
And Brad has been put into a bad position because now he has to juggle time. He has to juggle minutes. Yep. He has to juggle egos because they felt like they were that close. So why we need this guy?
And that's another thing
as
well.
And that's true because they was good. That core was.
When you're juggling egos with guys who are similar to the Lakers, 24, 25, right. 26 years old.
They're not trying to take no back seat now because look at what they have every right to feel that way. Like, look at what we did.
Good years right now.
Look at what we did. We about to be in our prime. Like why are we waiting for Kyrie to be 100%? Why are we waiting for Gordon to be 100%? And I feel bad for Gordon because they gave him a bunch of money for nothing. I do feel bad because you know what? He was one of the centerpieces of why they went and got Kyrie. Because they knew Brad's system. He's a Butler graduate. So he knew the system. It wasn't like he was not going to fit in. He would fit in right perfect. But just, some things, like you say, basketball is freakish action, and that's what happens. And I'm glad that he's back, but he's still not 100%. He's still not 100%.
Yeah. He's not. And Kyrie you see him looking at the plays and so disgusted.
But he got to go. I mean, I like him as a player. I actually like him as a player.
They know he has to go, and he wants to go.
He's going to the Knicks.
You think Kevin Durant's going with him?
No.
Where do you think Kevin Durant's going?
I honestly, you think I'm crazy.
Yeah, I know you guys think I'm crazy.
I honestly think he's going to stay and go to State. I think he's going to stay there.
Well,
Clay is going to leave. I think Clay's going to leave. But I think Durant is going to stay and go to State for the simple fact is I'm on this gravy train. Why I'm leaving? Why I'm leaving? I got a chance to win. I got a chance to win 5. I got a chance to win 5 straight. So like they got a chance with the core they got. Now I think they're gonna have to juggle Draymond a little bit.
So where you think Klay Thompson's gonna go?
He said he'll play with the Lakers.
He played for the Lakers, but I think he can go to a big time market. I think he can come on the East Coast and do something too. I think he can go to New York if it looks right and if it's right. Because Fizdale is a great coach. Just that the Knicks organization got to get from under Dolan, and Dolan's not going nowhere. But I think Steve Mills and them up there. I think that they can kind of. Not saying I don't want to say bully because bully is too hard of a word for the owner. They can kind of tell, look, let us do this and let you reap the benefits and watch us do this. Yeah. Like, stop trying to be. He's trying to be Jerry Jones all at one time. Like he want to draft players, he want to do all this. Chill. Let us do our job and then watch the seats get filled and watch us win again.
Should go for Zion?
No.
Tell me why. First time I heard that.
I like RJ.
No.
Sorry.
I actually like both players.
I like RJ.
But I want them to find the dark horse in the draft. I don't want them to go for because he's not a sure thing. Because
you don't think Zion is a sure thing?
No, I don't think he's a sure thing. I think honestly for me, I like Zion. Zion's actually out of South Carolina, so I like him for that fact. And went to a great program, but he's not polished yet. He's on baby talent right now. I think he should stay another year and develop. I think even though his draft stock is up, he can't shoot. I think
that's true.
I think that, and they're not gonna wait. And if he's drafted by the Knicks, they're not gonna wait for him to get a jump shot. Nah.
They want
and
now.
That's another thing with the Knicks too.
Right now.
History has proven they're not waiting for nothing.
They're not waiting for nothing. And for me, like I fear if they make a run in the tournament and they come up short, I'm gonna say this. And Zion and Barrett are teammates and their roommates as well.
Yeah.
They make a run in the tournament, they fall short. I don't think they're gonna leave. I think because they want that
They
that
want
bad.
that, yeah.
They want that bad.
So hopefully
So I don't think they're gonna
they
leave.
do stay. I don't think it's anything.
I think
wrong
it's
with staying
good.
one more year.
I think it's good because then it shakes up the NBA draft a whole lot
Oh,
because then
hell
you're gonna
yeah.
find stuff that you didn't think was in the draft.
That's true.
Now you
Them
like,
two don't
okay,
go.
these two don't go. Now what's next?
Now what's
we
A
next?
lot
gotta
of dark
figure out what's
horses
going on.
floating around the
So
draft.
look, before we get out of here, I just want to shout out. Can you get this for me? I want to shout out the Bar Boutique. Got this Boy Gucci sweatshirt. They are at 166 Ralph Avenue in Brooklyn. Buy black, owned by a black young guy. Start buying your own clothing. Make your own clothing. Stop with this Gucci, this Prada, this Burberry. They don't fuck with us, so we gotta stop fucking with
That's
them. They
100%.
didn't
Hey
make their
man,
clothes
come
for
on,
us.
come on,
I
man.
listen, I curse. I say what I want.
You
So,
right? It's your show.
exactly. So everybody go to the Bar Boutique. You know, get your pants. They got stuff for big guys too. Nice sizes. Y'all have to go there. Okay.
Yeah, we definitely want to thank you for coming out, Will.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yo, listen, check it out. Green Room back
Will,
March
you're not
9th.
coming back again.
Oh,
March 9th.
March 9th.
March 9th.
Green Room is back.
Can we come?
Make
on
sure
your
you
show?
check out the
I
girls.
know I
Of
can't.
course, you're gonna come on my show. I'm gonna put my tech box out. You know that.
Yeah,
I know you. I know you.
He put $1 there every time you curse.
That's right.
Yo,
Listen.
Green
Boy,
Room back
you
March
gonna get
9th.
yourself a pair of sneakers messing with me.
Boy, you gonna have money for the Bar Boutique.
No doubt, no doubt.
No,
Give me
you
some
gonna
big.
go get yourself a shirt, a pair of pants,
I'm gonna buy a
hat.
hoodie, all that.
And you can get yourself a little drink too. You know they
Yo.
give out little shot glasses of alcohol. I don't get it, but they do. It's funny. Like they were like, "Do you want to?" No, I don't drink. And it's like 4:00 in the afternoon, bro.
Okay. Gucci give out champagne. They give out shot glasses.
When I mean they have everything. It's all like
Henny.
They have it all. They have top shelf alcohol there. Top shelf. Not no cheap stuff.
Yo, I want to thank y'all for tuning to Basketball Way. Thank you for our guests coming out. Girls New York City Basketball, and of course the Green Room.
He'll be back. I'm coming
he'll
on
be
the
back
show.
March
I can't
9th.
curse.
We out of here.
Later.